each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. Thursday. I'm gonna roll these sleeves up. Not sure I'm gonna wear this shirt. Looks good on me, but it's just too hot. It's too hot. I run kind of hot. Thanks to my high blood pressure. Oh, especially around the neck. Around the neck. All right. But I'll be taking my fan with me. I got a new fan here. I'll show it to you. Here it is. These are great fans. These are great fans. Oh, whoo. Cool me breeze. Cool me breeze. I feel like I'm some old lady in New Orleans. Some Cajun lady. Oh my, it's hot in here. Oh, it's so hot. Woo. Somebody get me some water. That does feel good. Put them back in there. It also has to do with my anxiety. I'm not big on collared shirts. So you'll probably never ever see me wearing a tie again. Yeah, no thanks. I own some. I haven't seen them in years. I don't wear ties like I used to. I'm more of a jeans and t-shirt kind of a guy. I like to be comfortable. All right. I'm not sure I'm gonna wear this shirt. It's a little too hot. It's like even too hot right now. I'm gonna open my window all the way. Oh, I've got you both to come down, huh? Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Now you can go out. Let me go shut a door real quick, please. All right. Let's see how that works for you. Yeah, that works. Okay. Hi, Clara. Good to see you. Michelle, if I didn't say hi. I appreciate that. Clara says good fortune to you. Your meeting today, that's what I figured I'd go ahead and do a preemptive talk or do a pre-talk. Kind of like how we used to pregame. Pre-gaming means drinking before the drinking starts. I'm not gonna bother with introductions because this isn't really a daily trudge as much as it is me figuring out what I'm going to talk about while I'm there. I have a good idea, but introducing it, I don't really need to let them know who I am. They definitely know my background. For those of you that don't know my background, I was a drug and alcohol counselor at the age of 20. Youngest drug and alcohol counselor for a Arapahoe house, from what I knew nowadays. And it was not a recovery coach, peer support. Nope. I was a drug and alcohol counselor. I had my CAC. It stands for Certified Alcohol Counselor. Nowadays, that'd fall under COPA guidelines. All right. I've worked detox. I've worked treatment. I was a drug and alcohol counselor at Abraham Lincoln High School. There's not much that I have not done in this field. The thing is, and why am I so focused on detox right now? Because detox is where a lot of recovery starts, where it's where it begins. It's a major consequence, and Detox is not the best place to be. Just like we're doing some things with Adams County, putting in a new detox, and there's some people that want to make it like really cushy, and I'm like, whoa, 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 slow down here, slow down. We don't want to make this a residence. See, there's a balance in there. It's got to be. We have to treat people like human beings. That's what it comes down to. They are not a number. They are not anything, they're another human being, just like everybody else. All right. Even though maybe they're difficult to work with at the time, but they're being locked up against their will. Yeah. I mean, you won't meet many people in detox that are there willingly, or that put themselves there, right? But it's a good place for this. Detox is where change tends to happen. It's a gift of desperation, right? Decent food, having a little bit of, you got to give them a little bit of freedom. Hey, if they're going to book it, they're going to book it. They're going to run. There's not much you can, you're going to have the police looking for you. You're probably not going to get very far. No, but there's considerations to be made here. But it can't be so nice. The detox can't be so nice that people want to come back. It can't be that nice. It cannot be cushy. I see some of these treatment centers that like recover in style. It sounds more like a fucking all-inclusive vacation to Mexico than it does actual treatment, right? But anyway, I'm a little off there. What is it? I don't know how many people here have been a client at Detox. All right, but there's a clinical side that I kind of let them take care of. And I'm going to give you an example of one of the improvements that we're going to be making immediately before I get started into what I can really do. Right now, they're what's called clinically managed. And clinically managed means that we have caseworkers on, we have crisis, we have peers, we have certain people, right? But there's no medical staff. And when there's no medical staff, then what we need to do is we need to take them to the emergency room in order to get certain meds. Sometimes it's detox meds, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. Now, when we move into the new one in about 7 months, there's going to be a doctor on site. There's also going to be a pharmacy on site for Aurora Mental Health. They're going to have an on-site pharmacy. So that means as a worker, maybe somebody needs Ativan because their heart rate, their blood pressure is so high that they might have a heart attack if we don't give them something. Well, when you go to the hospital, you're talking time. And a lot of times they just turn us away. Oh, well, those are just pill seekers. They pick and choose. Okay. Especially when you're going to Ann Shoots. Okay. See you, Ann Shoots. I'm not a big fan of theirs. No, they like to do a lot of, are you an alcoholic who's also doing shrooms? Well, take a survey or let us test on you. And anyway, all right. So the problem, here's the biggest problem at Detox. There's no place to send these people. There's no place to send them. And they don't really, they continue to go through people because they don't pay enough. They don't do enough education. That's another thing that's missing is training. I told, when I was talking to Kathy before, I told her, I wasn't Kathy, it was Cindy. And I said, how you had us do all those trainings? You had us do all those trainings. Yeah, those were so boring that I just continued guessing at the answers until I got 80%. but I didn't do them. There was so much pressure on me to get them done that I didn't feel like I had time to really go through them. Hi, Amber. You weren't at the one this morning? No. Thought you were. Thought you were. But it's good to see you today. You know, I'm trying to do this to get my brain going because it's just refusing to do anything on this. I feel half out of it, actually. Hey, there's me wallet. Here's my wallet. I think this is what? The third wallet I've ever owned. I mean, people are always like, how come you always stick with one wallet? Because when you sit down on it, it's all thick and shit. It hurts. So once it forms to your butt, you don't even notice it's there. But the bad thing about that is so you can take it out of your pocket without you knowing. I keep mine in my front pocket. I don't keep my wallet in my back pocket. I quit doing that years ago. Right? So I'm trying to figure out some of the things that I can provide for them. One of the biggest things that I can provide for them is workable resources. Yeah. There's going to be some changes that need to be made. But, you know, we're talking treatment, sober living. We have no halfway house. See, the problem is there's not that many really good resources. And I've done the work for the last 4 years, and I know how to sit down with somebody and figure out what they're doing, to vet them, to say, yeah. And this is a big deal because, I mean, heck, they have 32 beds and they're usually full. So that means every 2 to 3 days, there's 30 different people in there. Every 2 to 3 days, there's 30 different people in there. Some might be coming back and things like that. Now, when I worked at Detox in the 90s, what would happen is I'd walk in, let's say I had 10 clients for the day. My job was to discharge them. But before I discharged them, I would offer them help first. And I would constantly send 5 to 6 people to treatment a day, or every time I worked, every day that I worked. And they went straight to treatment. You want treatment? Great. What you do, sign here. We're going to get it done. Now we're going to go pack your stuff, and I'm going to walk you upstairs and then go to the STIRT program. There was always AA meetings going on, always. There were AA people in and out of that place all the time, 12th stepping people. Nah. Okay. It was run by people that were recovered alcoholics, and we got paid on what was called a success rate, which I loved because it kept us accountable. And at that point, Colorado was number 7 in the country. We were the number 7 state. That's why being dead last at 50th just, it pisses me off, man, especially after all the work we've been doing. You know, we're dead last. People are whining about their money going away. Well, you know, what's the cost of a human life to you, motherfucker? Come on. Come on. You know, if you can't build your empire in recovery, that's not how it works. Okay. So good resources. My main job, I see it, is making whoever is working at Detox, making their job easier. I am not going to, what I'm not going to do is be a peer support specialist at Detox. I've done that part already. It's time for other people to do that. I don't like this shirt. It's too hot. Now I'll just put on a decent t-shirt. It's the collar. It's like heating up my neck. I don't like it. I don't like it. No. So give me 1 second here. You can leave your hat on. Don't. Ah, much better. Okay. At least for now. So much cooler. I can breathe again. But resources, and that's a big deal. All right. Because it's not just treatment, and it's also therapists and counselors and psychotherapists and psychiatrists and psychologists and judges and doctors and nurses, bartenders. See, this is all about becoming friendly with the professionals. The first thing I want them to do is start calling the AA hotline. I brought it up several times. And I let them know today, if we don't start implementing that immediately, then we can just forget this whole thing. Because it's the one thing. And why am I bringing that up? Why am I bringing it up? Because they have one peer support specialist there right now. And God bless her heart, but she don't know what she's doing. And that's not her fault. That is not her fault. That lies on East Metro and giving the support. See, when I went to work at East Metro Detox, I worked there for 3 months. I couldn't handle more than that. Okay. And you know how many people I sent to treatment? None. Zero. Nada. Nilch. None. I was so dissatisfied with my job. I didn't feel like I was able to do anything. Then when I did do something, I kind of got in trouble. No, I won't write all this stuff down. I've got it. I've got some stuff written down. I have little reminders and stuff. All right. But right now I'm just talking. I'm not going to be talking this way with them. All right. I can't talk this way with them. I got to bring them in with me. All right. Hello, whiny baby. We got another one. There's another one. Come here. Come here. Fatty, fat. Yes, you are. You're fat. Huh? You're just a little fatty cat. Yeah. It's funny because he's a bully. But if anybody comes around that he doesn't know, he hides. Because he's a wuss. That's right. It's just a bully get confronted, he runs. One thing I don't want to do is sit here and cut down Detox, because the people that are working at Detox, God bless them. Even though they are non-alcoholics with bachelor's degrees and in the wrong job, and it's partially stigma, God bless them. It's not the workers. It is East Metro Detox. Another challenge that I would present to them is that we retain our employees. I went back for a tour just a few months ago. I didn't recognize anybody. There wasn't anybody there that I had seen before, which means that there's a high turnover rate. Well, if management's just spending their time bringing people on, then they can't get to what they need to get to. But that tells me that the employees aren't being treated correctly, that there's some kind of power struggle going on. The biggest argument amongst the counselors, amongst the people working there, were whether the clients could log into Netflix. I'm not shitting you. Well, they're going to watch Breaking Bad. Who gives a fuck? You're going to wrap these people in bubble wrap and hope they're okay? Is that what we're doing? Because that's not how it works. See, they don't understand. They don't understand. Instead of asking, they're telling. And what is this? Well, it just means, and this was amongst peer support stuff too. Well, that tells me you haven't worked the program. That's what it tells me. If we're more concerned about what they're watching than their safety and their resources, then we're on a wrong track, man. And they need help. They need help from somebody like me that understands both sides of this. Okay? Because what they have not experienced that I have experienced is success in Detox. I've experienced it, which means I know how it needs to be done. And it's not being done that way. So today, part of my talk is going to be Amber says, I know it's not my field, but the world changed after COVID. People want more money and less work, work ethic went out the window. Yeah, I think that just has to do with generational stuff. My kids aren't lazy. Everything they have, they fucking earn because they know dad's broke. But I do hear what you're saying. It's always I'm going to tell you, Amber, it's always kind of been like that. But COVID gave a whole new aspect to it. I would absolutely agree on that. Thank you, Amber. But yeah, so you're right. In this case, is finding the right people with the right work ethic. But nobody really says my dream job is to work at Detox, unless you're Dion. I enjoy working at Detox, but not when it's a stale piece of shit. I can't do it. All right. So I won't be in office a lot until they move. Yeah. Yeah, it's in all ages, and it is kind of a generational thing, but every generation has their lazy asses. It's one of the stigmas that I actually fight. It is often that people are like, tell my wife, well, why are you with him? He doesn't work. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. But you guys know better than that, don't you? You see all the stuff that I do every single day. Absolutely. I'm not just sitting around, doing bong rips and playing video games all day. Right? No. I'm working on the community. I'm helping it out. Right? Because they just want to narrow in on that. They just want to find something wrong. Tell people what to do. Yeah. So finding the right people work there. So what are the right people? Since they can't hire peer support because of pay, or they can't hire peer support because lack of work ethic or anything like that. Well, gosh, we have a fantastic solution. And it should have been the solution all along. Call the AA hotline. See, it's my job to help this person find their willingness. I'm the depth and weight. I can say things that they don't get to say. Like, I just think you're a conceited Irishman who wants to run the whole show. Yes, we were reading that yesterday. Ever says, I am ha ha ha, bong rips and veggie games all day, bitches. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Until it's no fun anymore, a job will always not pay enough. People always want more. Government always wants more. Yeah. Oh, I know you're kidding, Amber. I know you're kidding. I don't even own a bong, so been a long time. There's no reason to own one. But there's more that can be done. What about the peer support? See, I know that there's one girl, she's over there working, and I know she's dissatisfied with her job. Now, imagine you're a peer support, you go into work, and because there's another person there that's going through and making sure that you have good resources and keeping you up on those resources, who's gone to the location, who has met with these people, right? Because right now, the way that it works is the resources, whoever bought them donuts last, because that's who they remember. Those days are over. And I'm not kidding. That's how it is right now. All right. And we're going to end those days. If you want East Metro Detox, the largest detox in Colorado, to send you clients, then you're going to need to jump through a few hoops, unless you've already proven yourself, like AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery, these places. But those places don't have placement. Here's another conundrum. See if you can work this one out. Homeless. Where am I going to put them? Oh, well, you put them in sober living. This guy's been living on the streets for 10 years. He can't work yet. He's going to need at least 6 months. So where am I going to put him? Now sober living's off the table. There is no place to put him. See, when I send somebody back to where they were, their chances of getting and staying sober are close to zero. Yeah, when you go back to the same thing, to the same people doing the same stuff, you're going to do the same thing. It's peer pressure. You can't help it. Well, I need something a little different, don't I? I do. I do. I know of a couple of places that I would certainly like to use, but they haven't really been calling me back. They're not keeping up on stuff. I offered it to them. And it sucks because now I'm going to have to go back and find another place that I can put my homeless people. Most people in the industry wouldn't even know how to start to do that. They'd call the Colorado Homeless Alliance, which doesn't do shit. They don't really do anything. What am I going to do? Put them in Sally? Salvation Army. Their program the men's program got shut down years ago for abuse. Now what am I going to do? A good one out of that would probably be Oxford houses. Oxford houses are usually pretty good. They're usually pretty lenient. So what I need is somebody that's willing to, quote unquote, sponsor this person for a few months while they try and get their shit together. So what do? Well, then East Metro Detox needs to start fundraising. And they can. Bet you never heard of a detox fundraising, and I'm sure they haven't thought of it either. So the job gets easier. So this is what happens. Okay, we have a client. They have alcohol use disorder. Okay, and I kind of have to talk my clinical talk right now, so I'm used to it when I get there. So you come in, and you got this client. So you're like, okay, we're going to call the AA hotline for you. Actually, you're not going to call them. They're going to call them. And they get a hold of you. You come down and you're talking with them. You're going to have to have them sit with a peer support specialist too. You can't leave a client alone with somebody that doesn't work there. You can't do that. It's not legal. Right. So there's got to be another person in the room. But if they're a recovered alcoholic or addict, then all the better. But that person working can't say God. They can't say it. I don't know why. I think there's some special rule. I always brought it up. I didn't give a fuck. Where you talk about God? You're going to fire me over $16.75 an hour? Really? So what happens is this. Is we get that person willing and excited to try something new. Maybe it takes us an hour. Maybe it takes us 2 hours. Maybe it takes a couple of trips. But what's going to happen is now when that person leaves, they're probably going to be picked up by the person that 12th stepped and taken to the next location. Maybe. We'll see. Not sure how that part's going to work, right? But even better, now this person goes to the caseworker who is a non-alcoholic bachelor's degree, but very good at their job. And now they have a willing participant. And now everybody goes home, puts their head on the pillow, knowing they did a great job for the day. And then they're going to be excited to come back to work. That's it. They think it's taking care of the clients that we're going to need to do. No, we got to take care of the employees. Training. The fact that I brought up that we got to call the AA 24-hour hotline was a new idea, even though we've been doing it for 90 fucking years now, tells me they don't know what they're doing. They have not been trained. They haven't even tried. I'm going to do what I plan on doing is I'm going to have the professional, and I can't do it because I might be working there. And we'll have AA show up and tell them how we work with professionals. There are people out there that do, and there's a whole group of them. We're meeting on the 5th if you want to join us. Okay. I got invited to that. I didn't do it. What's neat about that is I'm just part of the group. I don't run shit. It's so nice. So nice not to have to run it all. Right? These are just little things that I could do. And not just educating the people on East Metro Detox, but all of them. Maybe I'll make them listen to my big book thumping series. But there's going to be education, not just for the people in Detox, but for every single employee that is interested. Not required, but if you want to learn more, okay, and then getting the right training for the peer support specialists. They've got to know other things besides 60 hours of CCAR. They need to know EBT, CBT, craft. They need to understand what it means to work in a detox, what it means to work at a treatment center, what it means for all these different things, how to write a DAT note. Data Assessment Treatment is what that stands for. It's called a DAT note. The difference between a client note and a DAT note. There's a big difference between the two. A client note is written in there so we all know what's going on. A DAT note is written in a particular way so that we get paid by insurance. Those are the differences. Okay. So this kind of gives me a little bit better of an idea, but I probably should wrap up. I got to leave in about 10, 15 minutes. Actually, more like 20, but I'm kind of lollygagging today. I'm not moving fast. It's probably going to take me 10 minutes to figure out what shirt to wear because I can't wear this one. Not really professional walking with a Punisher shirt on. Although I don't think they would care, but no, people will notice. People are like that. They will notice. Not only that, but I got to wear a nice shirt because I got my fancy shoes on. I got my fancy shoes. All right. Thank you for letting me yak and do this. I appreciate it. I know I didn't really cover too much. But at least it got me to a place where I can say, see, it's not just me. They called the meeting. So clearly there's an agenda, and I'm just trying to think of the things that I can put in order to help this agenda. Or they may start out and say, well, Dion, what are you thinking? Because I don't know what to call all this. I don't know what to call this. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see some of you at 5. Hopefully I'm back in time. We'll see. All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And have a day.